by telephone. Obviously, maybe the nuclear industry didn't like the subject. We had some technical problems, but we are back, and we have Sherry from Kansas on the line. We've got a few minutes left. Sherry, go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you're covering this tonight. Am I being conspiratorial, or was this UN deal put together hastily to go to all the news could be focused on that and forget about the horrendous thing happening in Japan with the nuclear energy? Am I being too conspiratorial?
Well, it certainly has been an interesting news cycle. We had the Arab revolt, and it was spreading to Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and the other Gulf states. And then we had the Japan quake, which took all the oxygen out of the room on the Arab revolt. So we saw crackdowns in the Saudi and some other countries in the Gulf region, Baharain and others. And now we have Libya. Obviously, as I said many times, obviously the popular revolt spread to Libya, but now it looks like these countries, the U.S., Britain, and France, and NATO and other countries are trying to co-opt that revolt. The rebels don't want Western troops on the ground, but now tonight there's a report that Obama authorized a cruise missile on Gaddafi's compound in Tripoli. Now, that's a violation of U.S. law. Bush violated Executive Order 12333, and so has Obama. When it comes to this type of thing, there is absolutely no difference between Obama and Bush. They will violate executive orders all day long, and now it looks like it's full-blown regime change being imposed by NATO and a few Arab countries.
Well, why isn't there a no-fly zone over, like, Bahrain to keep the Saudis out of there?
Yes, why? They've massacred people. They're massacring people in Yemen. There isn't any no-fly zone over any of those countries. And what about, as somebody pointed out, why isn't there a no-fly zone over the West Bank and Gaza?
Yeah.
You shoot down Israeli planes that are constantly attacking the civilians in both of those locations. So this is obviously another one of these ruses. Look, people would get tired of Gaddafi after 40 years. There was this tendency. What happened to Tunisia and Egypt to spread to Libya, but now it looks like the Western powers, the same people that went into Iraq and Afghanistan, are doing the same thing in Libya. I think it's all about oil. It's all about extending Western influence to these countries where we haven't had influence.
What I don't get is the way that Press TV and Al Jazeera are reporting it. It's like people. Look at Iran. You'd think, because they get the same treatment. Exactly,
and everybody, all these leaders were rushing to embrace Gaddafi, and now, isn't it funny? Sarkozy, who was one of the first to run down there, is the first to have launched French aircraft against Libya. I think this is all part of these leaders work in secrecy and plan these operations in secrecy, and it's just again part of this new world order, as George H.W. Bush liked to say. But anyway, thanks for calling from Kansas, Sherry, and that'll do it for this week. We'll be back this time next week for the Wayne Matz Report, the Sunday Roundup. Thanks for joining us tonight.